you get to that point? Why wait until you get to a point where you can do no better? Why wait? Israel didn't have anything to do. In fact, if you read the text says that the Midianites were so brilliant in capturing Israel, they cut off all of the vegetation. They took all of the corn. They took all of the carrots. They couldn't make no carrot cake. They cut them off. They were trying to starve them to death. They were in a desperate state. They cut them off. And so all of a sudden now, we remember that God has always been here. Right where you left him the last time you fellowshiped with him is where he is today. Right where you got that last praise breakthrough. Isn't it funny how when our backs are against the wall, we can make God all kind of promises? If you do this for me, God, and we get so spiritual and so deep, God, I will do this for you. Lord, if you just cause me to make it through this day, I will never miss another prayer meeting, Lord. I heard the announcement for 5:30, but Lord, I will never miss another one if you just let me get through this day. God, if you send a financial breakthrough to me today, this is what I will do. You get your financial breakthrough and you go skipping all the way home like Mary Poppins, all the way home. And you forget your promise to God. Israel's back was against the wall, and they could do nothing but give God praise. Today I came to tell you, those of us that have been underground, hiding, just diligently seeking God. Not much happening, Bodie, not much happening for us, but we still trust God. The Bible says that God himself came to Gideon. He came to talk to him. I came to tell someone today, your spotlight is about to shine. The spotlight is about to shine on you. God is about to do something in your life that even you can't believe it. Look at the text. Let's go to verse 11. Verse 12. It talks about how the angel appeared to Gideon. Gideon had a self-limitation problem. You know, most of us, when we can't believe that God could actually do something great for us. We are okay with believing that he did it for Pastor Sterling. We're okay believing that someone who don't know him could say, I'll furnish your whole house. And we bless God for him. But most of us have an internal limitation issue. I say, God, I don't believe that you could do it for me. Look at Gideon. The first thing the Lord greeted Gideon with, watch the greeting in verse 12. It says, and God appeared to him and said, the Lord is with thee, mighty man of valor. Here is Gideon now hiding like some of us, because we don't want to be out there when God has called us to be out there. I couldn't believe that God could actually send people to follow me. I couldn't believe it. I said, me? Me and Brother Bodie was laughing on, when that was Thursday night. We were laughing at the fact that in 1998, I turned over, I said, babes. She said, yes. I said, God has called me to pastor. She said, go back sleep. She said, go back sleep. She couldn't believe Neil. If you understand me, in your life, there's an internal stuff that you're fighting, a war that you're fighting within you every day that you can't believe that God can do it for you. Can I tell you today that your major issue is not the person next to you? The major issue is not that person in the kiosk next to you on the job. Your major problem with you is you. Because your limitation, we limit our own selves. Go with me here. I'm almost done. In the old building, Elisha prophesied to me. God had her to anoint my feet. And she came, she said, God said he's not moving you from that job because he wants to make you, he's going to make you in charge of everything. Anybody was there when she said that? A couple of weeks later, they had an opening at another property. And I applied for that position. I said, because this got to be the prophetic word right here. I applied for it. They asked me a couple of questions. I answered. I didn't get it. I said, come on, God, what do you mean? But that was not what he said. I never saw myself as the director of engineering where I am. I never believed that the people could follow me. Could I say to you when the prophetic word came through? This is the highest the morale level has ever been in our department. Because we really put people first. But I did not believe my limitations was built in me. I was having a battle inside me every day. But isn't it funny? We could be battling inside of ourselves. We come to church like everything is okay. Hey, I've never been better. The Lord is so faithful to me. And you just having a problem because you're getting the word. We don't have a word problem. We just have an application. We just need to believe what the prophetic word said. She said, God is, Class Day, is going to make you in charge of everything. I said, me? Nearly 70 employees, plus their manager, me? No, man. I barely could send an email. What do I say when I go into these meetings with vice presidents? What do I say? What do I say? And so now, while everybody was looking at me, and I looked so happy. You see that picture? I look just like that. Don't I look happy? I was so happy. But nobody knew that inside of me was a battle going on. Inside of Gideon was a battle going on. If you don't believe me, watch what Gideon said. God said, greetings, in essence, thou mighty man of valor. So he's giving him God came down. Gideon was so blessed. God came down and gave him a special pep talk. This dude had so much issues going on inside of him. Watch what he said. Let's go to the next verse. Watch what Gideon said. Verse 12, when God says, the mighty man of valor, go to verse 13. Gideon said, and the Bible says, and Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with. Verse 12, he said, come on, man. He said, you, Gideon, not them. I ain't come to them yet. I come to deal with you first. He said, Gideon, you are a mighty man. Gideon said, well, if the Lord be with us. He had an internal issue. Gideon never saw himself. In fact, he was hiding, getting that wheat together. He lived his life hiding. He knew the stories, and when God came to him, he greeted him. He said, blessed be thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon fired back right away and say, if the Lord be with us. What's the complaint? And Gideon said, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen? And where be all the miracles which our father had told? Said, did not the Lord bring from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken and delivered into the hands of. This dude had a problem. Go back to verse 12, man. Verse 12 says, anyway you see angel of the Lord in a capital L, God made a special visitation to this dude. Because he understood that I'm looking for a man. Now, if you read the text, you will understand that Joash, Gideon's father, had a private and a public. He was a private failure. Because the Bible says the first thing Gideon had to do was break down the altar that his father built. So now God was looking for a man, and he found Gideon. So if God is looking for someone, Stephen Serlin, why not you? Alpha, why not you? Annie, why not you? He said, blessed be thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said, if you be with us, we have a problem. Gideon said, because I don't want to be singled out. Many of us have a difficulty being singled out. We all sing with the same voice. We don't mind singing. You all saw the chorale last week? Those were 3 brave men that actually took the mic and led the song. Because me and Bodie, this was my corner. I ain't taking no mic. When we had, and God blessed me to be on stage with Victor Cash, that's his name, Victor Cash from Evangelistic Temple, Vaughn Cash, and all those other preachers. And I look over, I say, hey, you see the song on the program? He said, yeah. I said, who's supposed to lead that? He said, you. I said, well, how does it work? How does that work, Alpha? He says, you raise the song, and you take 2 steps back. Did anybody realize how far I was starting from the pulpit? Because you're not going to put me on stage, man. I'm not a singer. So I raised the song, I did this way. No wonder why we missed the whole voice, because he lives. Now, I wasn't being deep, man. I was scared. Y'all saying, boy, my pastor up there, he's so deep. No, I was scared, man. A church full of people, and with this voice? No, man. No. The only person who could laugh and have a good time with his voice is my girl, man. Yeah. She's the only person I could find. If I could sing a song and she'd be okay with it, grin and bear it. But a church full of people, no, don't put me on stage like that. So I said, and you all said, look at my pastor up there, man. And when I came down, y'all was hugging me. I'm so proud of y'all. Pastor, I'm so proud of you. And I said, boy, if you only know. If you only know the hell I gone through to get to. Okay. Why you think the praise and worship dude would come back and sing the second song? Y'all didn't know that, hey. See, y'all said, man, Pastor, running this service so good. No, man. I called him back. I tell him, bring him. Who he is? Pastor Cash said, I don't know him. He said, but I could get him. Let him come lead the song, because I don't know that. No, because we have a problem with being singled out. We have a problem with being in the front. If God called you to be in the front, who are you to tell him that everybody else have an issue? So why not deal with them? This dude had a problem, a real problem. Now, can I ask you a question? Have you ever seen this conversation, the same one you have in there? Have you ever had that with God? Lord, I call you out to be a leading bakery chef in this country. Yeah, but God, we have plenty of them, you know. You don't have to be me. You know, you see Sweetums, you see all these bakeries, you know, we find an issue. We talk to God, but now if someone came to Lana and said, Lana, I prophesy that you're going to have a leading bakery. And then she go home and think, Lord, how I can do this? Lord, I even ain't working. I have 2 baking pans, 1 round and 1 flat. That's it. That's all I have. This dude in verse 13 was letting you know, I have a problem, man. I don't want to be the one you call